Unmute. Welcome everybody to Legendary Tales. My name is Devin, and we're gonna be playing episode 3 of Soulforged. Hope everyone's week is going well. Does anyone have a recap for last week? If not, I'll do it.
No, I got one.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. So last week we did a ton of traveling with Yvonne. We actually made it to Verdengard. Came in on the boat, the Diamond Crest, with Captain Saltai and a little ferret man who offered everybody satsumas, and
Doc.
And a man that came flying in on a anchor that was lifted into the air by a flock of seagulls.
Master of Seagulls.
Master of Seagulls. Meanwhile, Rep fixed up the boat, and we arrived in Akut in Verdengard without incident. It was there we met the Queen and her coterie, or her entourage, and that was Queen Anira Brightwall, the Commander Mattis, the Ranger General Sama, a Wood Elf, and Priestess Hilda Moonfell, who could possibly just be a possessed suit of armor. We're not sure. Had dinner with that group while negotiations were made for a deal. And one of the parties, we'll call it pocket familiars, decided that there was something off about two of the people there. And didn't really know what to do about that. Did a bunch of travel, wound up going through the Bard College City, got to see the Northern Lights, got to have an interesting little interaction with a Banshee. Really, Yvonne was having an interaction with a Banshee. Rep waved at it. Evie told him to stop being childish. And then we just we shut the window. And then we proceeded on to the capital city of it's right here, Talaka. And I believe that's where we're picking up, right?
Absolutely, it is. You guys arrive in Talaka. It is the city on a giant plateau in the middle of some more or less frozen wasteland at this point. It's actually quite beautiful. And you're brought up on this gigantic elevator, this gigantic steel elevator on these huge chains. And as soon as you get up, you see the stone skin ox, and they're basically, what did I say, 9 foot at the shoulder. 2 oxen. They pull on these chains. It brings the thing up. And you arrive in the giant stone city of Talaka. And they show it's a beautiful city. I need all of you to make perception checks as soon as you enter the city. Let me go ahead and get some music started. Let me mute this one. Mute site. Let me get my Forest Day. Classic Forest Day. There it is. It's my standard background music for all of my series when there's nothing crazy happening. Okay. What the heck? Lorshik just rolled a 20.
He had his beauty sleepies on top of it today.
He rolled a 17. What? I think that's the highest roll you've gotten so far. You guys look around, and Yvonne immediately starts to head directly toward one of the larger buildings on the northern edge of this huge plateau. And you could tell that he's heading towards some sort of government building because it's much larger than the rest of them. A lot of these buildings are actually framed in steel, and they basically look as if they're built to withstand some sort of earthquake or natural phenomenon. If you would like to make, and Vidar, if you two would like to make a history check for me, you can look into it. Technician, you have heard of this city before, but you're not really sure what its actual deal is. But this area is prone for some reason to large amounts of underground activity, whether it's thermal, volcanic. You're not really sure. It doesn't seem to be volcanic because there's no other tells that usually volcanic activity has a lot of other things going on with it at the same time. But it doesn't appear to be that. But apparently this place is prone to earthquakes because a lot of the gigantic paved areas with pavers and things like that have huge cracks running down them. A lot of the buildings are sort of short. Some you can tell were built at the same time as others, but they're significantly shorter, like a foot or a foot or more shorter than the rest. And this government building appears to be built on stilts of some sort that are sort of springy in that fashion. They're meant to sway instead of like crack and break. And Yvonne is heading directly that way. And the big thing that you notice is there are no animals up here at all. There are pets and squirrels and things like that. There are trees and all sorts of natural things, but there are no large creatures.
So if I remember correctly, and I might have left this out of the recap, we were basically told to leave our horses at the
base
gate because I want to say Riven Riders.
Wyvern Riders, yes.
Wyvern Riders.
The
yes.
main police force of this area are known to fly around on wyverns. And wyverns, if you don't know what a wyvern is, it's a winged dragon. Basically, it's a lesser dragon. Normally, dragons have 4 feet, and they have actual voices, and they're magical, and they're ancient, and they're intelligent. Wyverns are basically the cousin of them, and they have wings, but they don't have forward legs. They have rear legs, so they're more avian in appearance. And some of them are feathered, but they're known for having these giant tails that have huge spikes protruding out of them, and they can chuck and throw the spikes and actually impale people with them. And these are actually kept in a giant roost directly south. Basically, if the northern edge is the Capitol building, the southern edge has the roost for the wyverns. What are you guys doing? Yvonne is heading north toward the building. I know that Vidar wants to go see the temple of said god that he has not mentioned the name of yet. Evie, what is your plan? What are you looking at? Are you looking for something specific?
I think I was also interested in going to the temple. Was it what was the religion again of this temple?
It is supposed to be Gleam Lights Advent.
Right, Gleam.
Okay. They go by Gleam or Lights Advent or both. The full proper title, according to everything you've heard, Evie, is Gleam Lights Advent.
Okay. Yeah, I was also interested in checking that out.
Okay, technician, do you have a plan?
I do not. Basically, gonna stick to Yvonne.
Okay, Vidar, what's your plan?
Would there be any reason to follow Yvonne? Like, is he walking in a way that would make me think I need to follow him, or just going straight to
Not
the
particularly.
temple?
He just seems to be. He's not running, and he's not moving at a pace that is like unreasonable. He does appear to be looking around. He's not just like beelining and just walking with dedication or like with a mission. He's just heading in that direction. Loershik, what are you doing?
I think I'm gonna tail Yvonne just a little bit and more or less taking the sights just because I'm wandering aimlessly.
Thanks for the raid, Mindari. That's crazy. Look at all those bats. I think they're bats. Yeah, they're definitely bats.
Those are adorable.
Those are amazing. Oh, by the way, chat, I got a new emote if you want to look at the leg. 95 Comrade Cupcake. It's my cat dressed as Joseph Stalin.
Uncanny.
Oh, I love it. Because my cat shows up in every episode. Literally, she'll be here at some point. It is. We just started. Yeah, that's because I love my cat and I wanted her to be part of this. Yeah. So we are in Talacha. And Loershik, you're gonna follow Yvonne. Vidar, you said you were gonna go to the temple.
20 paces.
Yep, temple.
Yvonne sort of turns around and sees that you guys are sort of deciding which way you're going and turns around and says, Will, If you would like to go south, I would recommend that we at least go say hello to the king. He is a longtime personal friend of mine. I met him before he got married to the wonderful queen as we know her. I believe he should be in the capital building. I mean, it's got keep. Let's be real, but maybe we should go say hello. Just saying. It's up to you, but you don't have to.
I give him just a affirmative nod and walk closer to him.
Okay.
Make one of those motions where I like in mid-step, like away, and I look back.
And in the distance, you can actually see a sort of peak of what appears to be marble, or like it's a separate stone. It's a different stone than is natural to this area as well.
I'm sorry, you mean like a peak of a mountain or like a...
No, a peak of like a building, like a sort of
Okay.
steeple almost.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'll have turned away already at this point, and when Yvonne says something, I turn back to follow him again and say, if you think it's important, then we should do that.
Sure. Well, if you give me a moment, I will lead us and we can say hello to the king and make our way to the chapel as soon as we just say hello. Does that sound okay?
That sounds great.
Okay. You make your way through the streets. They sort of wind and twist, except until you get to a large area where recently a building has crumbled on its own. And you can tell that there are construction workers, and there are these sort of strange-looking mechanical beasts of burden. They don't appear to be tempered in the way that Vidar is tempered. They appear to be tempered in the same way the technician is. And there's actually a Warforged here.
Yeah, technician Rep-Rap's gonna basically walk up directly to the Warforged and wave. Hello.
Hello.
What is your designation?
Burden.
Sorry, I may have missed a detail there. This is a Warforged beast or a Warforged?
No, a Warforged. It's a full
Okay.
Warforged. He just responds to you with just one word, burden.
Just burden. I am technician R3P-R4P. You can call me Rep-Rap.
Greetings, Rep-Rap. I am
What is it you
I
do?
am Burden. I control large mechanical beasts that transport large amounts of heavy material from one place to another. My name is Burden.
Looks like they have about the same amount of social skills as
They
each other.
absolutely
Yeah.
this is the
Yeah,
most awkward conversation you've ever
Yeah.
seen.
Fascinating. And then just turns and walks away, follows the rest of the party.
Have a wonderful day. And you can tell that his like beasts that he has are sort of like simian in nature. So they have large front arms with little back legs, and they're just like carrying things and then smashing them down on the ground, like building materials and all sorts of other stuff. And they're sort of rolling with this large amount of stone, like the natural stone material, and then there's like a handful of other workers who are carving it, and they're building this building that appears to be a butchery or some sort of grocery store at some point. And there's a large crack directly in the there's a huge crack going right in between in the plateau, and they've sort of built a makeshift bridge over it that appears to be made of iron girders and wood that's been bolted to it. And you go over this crack and you can see down, and it's just blackness, just straight down as you pass over this bridge, and you come to the Capitol building, which is a large keep that's iron reinforced all the way around it. There's no spikes. There's no There's no. It doesn't appear to be intimidating. It just appears to be reinforced for natural reasons. Yvonne walks straight up to the guards and says, "I'm here to see the king," and without a blink of an eye, opens the door.
Tight security here.
Yvonne looks back at you and he says, "Well, if you're me, you kind of get doors opened for you automatically. So, it's fine. You get what I mean, Jellybean?"
Just kind of nod.
All right, let's go. And they open the doors, and these doors are probably a foot thick, iron reinforced oak doors. Or they could be mahogany. And they open. And the first thing that you notice is the inside of this area has a large chain net above it. Like literally, it's a walled keep that goes all the way around. And then as soon as you look up, there are huge chains that cover the whole thing in a grid pattern, and they're only about a foot apart from each other. And it appears to be like 16 gauge steel. So it's huge chains. And it probably spans about 60 or 70 feet on both sides. And they cover this huge garden that looks very, very pretty. Everyone make a perception check for me, please. I need to grab my notebook.
During this time, I'm mostly like just ignoring everything, and I lean over to Rep and say, Did he call her Jelly Bean?
Are you talking to Yvonne right now?
No, I'm talking to Rep. I just asked
talking
Rep if Yvonne called Evie Jelly Bean.
Indeed.
I just like have a confused nod.
Well,
he is very charismatic.
Yeah, yeah.
Those are your new perception checks, right? Okay. I am missing a perception check from a...
It's me. Ignore me. There you go.
Wow. Okay.
Damn. Getting somewhere.
Vidar and Loershik, you notice that there are abnormally large birds sitting on these large towers that overlook this large keep. And the chains directly go from the towers and they link to the walls. And when I say large birds, they are, for lack of a better comparison, the size of Great Danes. And they're perched all along the chain. And there are probably 75 to 100 of them on each side. Completely silent. Staring directly at you guys.
Can I do an Arcana check to see if I can tell if they're magical?
Absolutely. You have no idea.
There's a Loershik we know and love.
There it is. Okay. I assume you're leaving it?
I'll walk up to it and am I allowed to make a nature check?
Sure.
See if it's like a...
Sure. There are some things that your character doesn't know about. This is one of them.
I just stare at it in confusion, still kind of like foggy about this whole like jelly bean thing. Just kind of wander back.
It's just a large lizard man staring at a large bird going, "Burb."
Come here. Come here. Come here.
I'd say that I'd also normally be more interested in the creatures, but I'm also caught up on the jelly bean incident for different reasons.
My cat was starting to turn off my computer. Sorry, guys. Okay. I had to pick her up and get her off of it. Okay. What were you saying? I'm sorry.
Lorshik was saying that he obviously doesn't know anything about the birds, looking at them confused, and is caught up on the jelly bean incident. I said that I'd normally be more interested in the birds, but I'm also engulfed with the jelly bean incident.
Jelly bean perception is pretty low. I'm assuming that the birds are there for some sort of like guardian purpose. I do like would it be insight to figure out what their purpose is.
Can I just
Or-
ask? Can I just ask Yvonne if he knows what the birds are for? He's been here before, obviously.
Or did you not notice the birds yet? With your...
I have 15.
Oh, if she got a 15, it wouldn't take her long to realize that both Loershik and Vidar are just like looking up, and it would she's like, oh. Whereas Technician is just like, I don't know what's going on. Just looking around, at the scenery. That kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm just gonna kind of like jog up next to Yvonne and ask, what are those giant birds for?
Oh, they're called shrapnels.
Are they for protection here?
No, they are messenger birds. Except they can imagine a mockingbird, except you increase it with magic and then you breed it for thousands of years. And
Cool.
one of the scare tactics over the time that they have been at war, a long time ago, is they used to take these shrapnels into combat with them. And what they would do is they would have a wizard cast fireball beforehand. And then the birds would crawl around on the ground behind enemy lines and start making this huge noise and scaring them, and then it would be sort of psychological and it's really bad.
Okay. What kind of messages do they deliver today?
It depends. If you want someone killed, they can run up and then scare them to death. Literally, they have a power that essentially you die from fear. If 2 or more of them show up, they can sort of vibrate and make a sound that if you're to put it next to a window, the window would explode. Well, that happens inside of your brain.
That's horrifying.
Yeah, that's why they're called shrapnels.
I just kind of keep looking up at them and all.
Do we all hear this conversation?
Yeah, you do.
So what are we going to see the king for?
Oh, just to say hi.
Okay, that's casual. Do you often say hi to kings? Just passing through?
We grew up together.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I knew him before he met his wife, and we have been close friends ever since. And as he says this, a gorgeous man walks out. Where is he? Did I make a thing for him?
I love the thematic gorgeous men aspect of this campaign.
He is. Apparently, I didn't upload my token for him. He is a 6.5 foot tall blonde man who is currently shirtless, does not have a spot of fat on him, and probably weighs 240 pounds. He is not just bodybuilder status. He is Olympic powerlifter status. Like grotesquely enormous.
I just start
like the door frame he walks out of, he walks out sideways. He literally, his arms are so big he cannot walk forward through the door.
Hello.
Rip rap, not now.
Hello. Who's with you, Yvonne? Oh, these are my adventuring companions for my tour of the world for diplomacy to save my homeland. I see. And it looks like it's not that he's having a hard time talking. It's just that his neck muscles are very, very large. It almost compresses his vocal cords. Well, it's great to see you. Did you see my wife on your way here?
Is he
Under my
talking to
breath,
Yvonne?
damn it.
He is talking to Yvonne, but also looking at you guys. Sort of, he's doing like a little inspection almost. Well,
apologies. I did not recognize you as the king. We did, in fact, see your wife on the way here.
That's fantastic. Is she as gorgeous as I remember her? I'm just kidding. It's only been like 6 days. I'm fine. And he cracks his neck for a second. And he walks up to you, and he offers his hand specifically to Evie. And who might you be?
Hello, Your Majesty. I'm Evie Asger, and I do like a little bit of a curtsy, but I'm not. I'm from somewhere where people know how to act, but I have been out of it for a little while, so it's slightly clumsy.
Well, the pleasure is all mine. And he takes your hand and he holds it like tightly. And this dude's grip is like terrifyingly strong. You can tell already that his hands are not soft; they are like stone. In both gradient and texture. And he offers a handshake to Loershik. He says, "Interesting. I have not seen a lizard folk in a long time. I don't know if that's a term for your species. I don't know if there's like a cultural term for it, but pardon my ignorance." And he offers a hand to Loershik in handshake.
I take his hand for the handshake. It's nice to meet you, Your Majesty. And I leave it at that for now.
Well, the pleasure is mine. What are you? And he sort of like goes up and sort of looks closely at Technician. Fascinating. We have some of you in the city, but not this well made. And you did.
I believe I'm the only one that's made like me.
You did see that Burden wasn't necessarily. He was built for a purpose, where you're also built for aesthetics, right? Burden was not built for aesthetics in any way, shape, or form.
Gotcha. Indeed, I believe there are not any others that are built like me.
That would make sense. And your glowing-eyed friend, you're amazing looking. What? And he sort of walks up to Vidar and offers a hand.
I take the hand and shake it and do kind of like a half bow while shaking his hand. And not all humans can be as peak physical form as you, Your Highness.
Oh, thank you. Well, let's just say a combination of magic and hard work made me this way. More so hard work, to be honest with you. Yvonne looks at you guys. He says, "You don't understand. He used to be very small. Before he met his wife, he was very small. He did not have as much meat on him as he does now." Make an insight check, everybody, real quick. Lorshik's still not there yet. Surprisingly, Technician, you catch Yvonne looking at Evie as if he's looking to see what her reaction is to this monstrous human being.
Oh, wow. How awkward do I want to make this? Okay. Okay. Yeah, so Rep is going to sort of just very nonchalantly, and I'm saying this because it's Rep, nonchalantly just kind of stand next to Evie and elbow her very slowly and say, "There must be something on your face. He is staring at you," but he's saying that at regular volume. There is no inside voice with Rep. There's.
I'll kind of whip my head to Rep and say, "Who? Which one?"
Yvonne.
Okay. I kind of turn to Yvonne and look at him. What kind of face is he giving me back when I catch eyes with him?
Make an insight check for me, please. Here we go. Okay. Well, you immediately know that he is curious to know what you think about the king.
This is right after the comment about him being smaller when he was younger.
Yes.
So I'll stay looking at Yvonne, but kind of addressing the king. I'll say, I don't think the past matters. I think at the moment you look immaculate.
Wow. And Yvonne sort of is back. He backs off for a second and he goes, well, interesting. I would say he's a bit monstrous for my taste anyway. And the king sort of looks at you. He says, I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Alden Brightwall. And he sort of shakes his head. Will you make an Arcana check for me, Technician and Evie, please?
Really in tune with this guy.
This guy has temper inside of his body.
Inside.
Because when he flexes, you can see glowing underneath his skin.
Incredible.
So he is literally tempered as a person.
So
You got a little something on your cheeks.
it's the light. My key light sets it warm.
Sure.
I'm gonna turn to the king and say, pardon me for noticing, but it would appear that you have temper in your muscles.
When I said it was magic, it was true. And he flexes really hard, and his veins begin to glow green, like teal. And he does it, and a huge bear symbol appears on his chest, like as if you were to take the silhouette of a bear, when it's like turned to the right. And he's like, and he flexes fully, and it's crazy. Because his muscles literally get bigger for a moment, and then he goes like this, and you actually see like almost the visage of a bear go over his body, and he sort of looks like he's covered in a sort of holographic material that makes him look like a bear.
Oh, kind of like my eyes widen, and I don't really know what to say, but start to reach out a hand, like I wanna touch it. But I kind of catch myself and pull back, and just try and compose and ask, what use do you have for having temper inside of you?
It makes me unkillable. And he begins to breathe, and you can see it sort of speed up. And Yvonne goes, calm down. It's okay. It's okay. You don't need to show off or nothing. And Yvonne pulls out a dagger and attempts to stab him with it. And the dagger bends on his skin. He literally, full force stabs at him, and it does nothing. It does zero. It doesn't do any damage to him at all.
So, for clarity, the first thing that happened when he flexed is he got bigger and green, right?
Bigger and teal would be the
teal,
word I would use for it. Because temper naturally is like a black with, how Damascus steel looks, black and silver. Instead of silver, it's teal or aquamarine.
So it's like a very, very dark turquoise.
Yes, that's yes.
Gotcha.
And his overall hue is that color.
Gotcha.
By the way, and this is his token.
Oh, thank God. A jawline.
I know, chiseled.
He looks like an uglier Conor McGregor.
But he does that, and the dagger actually bends, and it's sort of crazy, and he calms down, and his muscles shrink a little bit, and he gets back to it, and now he's sweating like a beast, and he says, well, would we like to go no, I'm on the wrong voice. Well, would you like to go for lunch?
I'll kind of respond far too quickly and jump forward a bit. Yes, that would be wonderful. We haven't eaten all day.
Yvonne looks at you and goes, "Okay, duly
Jelly
noted.
bean?
Well, I haven't been here in a long time. Alden, would you show us, or are we having lunch here, or what would you like to do?" Alden looks at you. He says, "We've actually just got this brand new smokery. They smoke meat. It's great. They just moved in. Actually, I paid them to be here. Let's be real. They're from north. They're actually from Artstadt." He says, "Well, my homeland. Interesting. So, let's go." And Yvonne is flustered, almost upset, visibly, of your reaction to the king, by the way. Loershik, what are you doing? What is your response to the king?
I immediately run up between the king and Evie and just say, I love smoked meat. It's one of my favorite foods.
You're in luck. It's going to be great. Vidar,
what kind of meat do they have?
They specialize in boar and pig, actually.
That's great.
We get some steaks every once in a while, but it's incredibly hard to slaughter old stone skin ox. So, who'd have thought?
Hey, Yvonne, you like meat too, right?
Loershik, I swear. Keep making the joke. I'll test your skin as well.
I just pat my maul on its handle.
Oh, that's cute. I like it. It's fine. We'll lead on. And Alden puts his arms out, and this sort of servant, these pair of servants bring him this large duster trench coat style coat, that has the beautiful colors of Verdengard, bright green with silver lining, painted on the back of it, and their whole faction symbol appears to just be a shield symbol, silver outline with green and white stripes, horizontal stripes going down it. It's very simple yet beautiful at the same time, and his sort of cloak duster has that on it, and he stays bare chested, and he puts his duster on. He begins, "Follow me." He walks out into the street, and you guys take an immediate right, and you travel for about 2 or 3 minutes. And directly on the right, there's this large brick building, not just stone, but actual brick building. It has 2 large smokestacks that are constantly billowing like this light gray smoke out of it, and it smells so good. You walk up to... excuse me. You walk up to the entrance of it, and it has these large wooden doors, and the king sort of pushes one in. And it opens, and they have these long tables that could fit like 20 or 30 people at them, all throughout this room. This room is very, very large. Is that 2 cats or just 1 cat?
Just one.
Dang. They have these very long tables, and there's loads of people in here. There's probably 20 or 30 people. The second they enter, everyone stands up in the room. And Alden just goes, "No need to do that. Keep eating. It's just me. It's not the queen. If the queen were here, that would be true. But you all know that I don't wear the pants in that relationship. So, that being said, everybody, let's just calm down. Let's eat." And everyone sort of cheers him with like beer in hand and things like that. What is your immediate reaction, Loershik? What do you do? Because the second you come in, you notice that in the back they have this large sort of counter, and then behind that they have literal spit roasting 2 full boars in the back.
My lizard tongue comes out for a second, and I just like inhale deeply through my nose, and then I charge the counter.
Okay. Evie, what are you doing?
I'll like be looking around, kind of excited to see people being kind of casual and eating and drinking, like just having a nice time. Like I'm relaxing a little bit from the journey that we had. I catch that he was talking about the queen and make some plans to inquire about where she is, especially after he mentioned that she's been gone for a few days, or he's been away. Interested in why.
Okay.
For no reason other than strictly like business, obviously.
Obviously.
She was meeting us in Jirsvala, and then we came here anyway.
You guys did pass her on the way back because she's in a cart, or she's in like a wagon, so it's going to be a lot slower than like just horses unbridled and things like that. Technician, what are you doing?
I'm gonna technician is going to go get like a skewer, just like a small piece of meat to mime eating.
Okay.
So a little bit meta, but basically in formal company, technician pretends
to
be polite. Yeah.
Vidar, what are you doing?
I follow technician, and I also pick up a skewer, but I don't even pretend to eat it. It's more of like one of those, if you're at a party and everybody sees you have a drink in your hand.
So it's a prop skewer.
Yeah. And I lean into technician and I say, organic beans spend so much of their time eating.
I said beans.
They must.
I thought he said beans too.
Organic beans, yes. It's fantastic. This meat, these organic beans, and this wild rice. Exactly. Now, they must. That is the source of their that is their power supply.
What do you mean by that? And you can see that the king has sort of turned around, and it's hilarious to see him turn around because he can't turn his head. It's not an option. He has to turn his upper torso, and he goes like this instead of going like this. He goes, "What do you mean by that? Are you not real? Are you not organic?"
And I pat Rap on the back and say, "Nope, he's completely crafted." Can I roll for a deception check to make it seem like I was talking about
get him an advantage, please.
Deception at advantage?
Yep. Oh, what?
Yikes.
2 3s?
Rep is going to assist. Indeed, I am entirely mechanical.
Go ahead and I'll let you try it. I'll let you
Okay.
give you at a regular deception roll.
I'm yeah. Good luck me.
Oh shit.
Ooh, nice.
Let me do a roll real quick. I rolled well for once.
Oh boy.
I rolled a 25. Then he looks at you, very clearly knowing that you guys are full of shit. All right. I see you. You're going to have a conversation later, you and me. The two of you and me. And we'll get to the bottom of this. Yvonne steps in. He goes, "That's not necessary. He is just like technician, except a little bit better at, as you say, a very specific job. You know how the Warforged are all designed to do something specific. Rap repairs people. He's an engineer. Vidar is a bit more on the combat-oriented side." He looks at him.
I blend in.
"Oh, so you're a sneaky bastard. I got it. Cool. Well, Loershik, why don't you just get a little bit of everything and then have them send it over?"
Sounds good. I assume there's a barkeep.
There is. There's actually two large men, shirtless in leather aprons, just sweating. They're just sweating. It's hot. It would be hot in there. It's incredibly hot. So
I ask one of the barkeeps, "Hey, can we get just a little bit of everything? Actually, make it a lot of bit of everything. Do you guys sell shirts?" cloaks or
excuse me.
anything?
What does that mean?
I'm looking for a souvenir.
A souvenir? You
Just
can
specifically
keep the
clothing for the
bones.
upper half of a body.
You can keep the bones. If you really would like the bones, you can keep the bones.
Well, I'd love the bones for sure. Yes, please. But no clothing at all.
No, why would we have clothing?
Where's the nearest clothing store, by chance?
I mean,
Can
there's
you
an
point me in the
armorer
direction?
down the street. Go talk to the man down the street. There's an
I
armorer.
just shake my head. Thank you. About that meat.
We'll have it out in a minute. Just go sit down. We'll bring it to the king.
I toss him and the other barkeep each a piece of gold.
Dope. As you attempt to hand them the gold, one of the smaller guys that was putting the coat on the king sort of puts your hands down and puts a sack of coins onto the counter. One of the large guys takes it, nods at the aide. And you already know that the king doesn't pay for anything. Everything is paid for by the kingdom or whatever. And a few minutes later, the food comes to you guys, and it is amazing. It's actually so good. There's ribs on there. You can literally, with just 2 fingers, you pull on the bone and you pull it, and it just releases on its own. That kind of thing. Evie, what are you... So I'm going to go to each of you. What are you doing during this time period? Because it actually matters.
So we're all sitting around like a food hall eating at the moment, right?
Yes. You're seeing a large brick building, sort of like a barbecue place in modern times. It's very reminiscent of that style.
I am sitting next to Yvonne and across from the king, and just kind of like...
Oh, the king is on his own side with no
Okay.
one around him. He's so
Okay,
big
then-
that the likelihood that anyone is sitting near him is very low because can you imagine the wingspan of someone that big? It'd be impossible to sit next to them and eat.
When we were seated, we specifically requested a 5 people, 1 king top. So
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you didn't really have a choice.
So it's like one table and the 5 of us are on the other side, and the king's on one side.
Yes. Well, he is, but he has his aides on either side of him.
Rep is just going to show some general, but not like. Sorry, Rep's going to show some general interest in the architecture and the culture of the city around, but not try to dominate the conversation or take too much of anybody's time. Like he gets it. He and Yvonne and the king are old friends, and so they want to catch up a little bit. And Rep's just generally interested in the things around him because he's a child, more or less.
And a lot of the architecture appears to be brand new. Like the majority of this city does appear to be brand new or very well kept. The upkeep on it is very well done. No. Come here, cat. Oh wow, that's a background.
But apparently it has a plague of cats.
I'm trying to convince my cat to get off the table.
Sparkles and flowers probably growing in this tavern.
Hey, it says country village. Okay,
There's something growing in
I'm
this
trying to
tavern.
find something that fits. Okay, don't judge me. What are you doing, Vidar?
Vidar's kind of just sitting back with his skewer, kind of just waving it around, like, oh, I'm a human doing human things, and mostly just watching.
Okay, I had to get a toy so that she won't go on my computer. Okay, so you're just waving your skewer around, pretending to be a
Yeah,
person.
Just kind of gesturing with it while mostly people watching.
Okay. Evie. Or let's do Lower Shik. We're going to do Evie last because it matters. What are you doing, Lower Shik?
I'm chowing down on various meats at this point. I want to open my little pouch and do just a gentle tap on the side as to encourage my friend to come out and hang with the group.
You hear like a yawn. Right, so I'm coming out then. He sort of leaps onto the table, looks around, and goes, "Fucking hell! What is wrong with that man? No human should look like that. Holy shit!" And he like sort of leaps over, looks at him, he goes, "Jeez, what is going on with this man? Wait, is he tempered? Fucking hell! What?" And he sort of comes back to you, looks back at you, and you could definitely tell the emotion, because his skull has a little bit more animation, as if he's like claymation or something, you know, where the eye sockets actually move and things like that, and they're just huge.
I just chuckle and give a slight head shake and gesture towards the meat.
Oh, right. Let me get a little on the side. I don't want to go and be all apparent about it, you know.
I affirmative nod. And I just keep... I'm very focused on my food because I am deathly afraid of making any more rolls. I mean, getting involved in anything else right now.
Evie, what are you doing?
Okay, given the seating arrangement, I'd like to think that I sat down and Yvonne found a way to sit down next to me, and we're all across from the king. And if Yvonne and the king are kind of catching up, I'm not forcibly inserting myself in their conversation, but because of the proximity, kind of engaging in, like, just listening to what they're catching up on. Yeah.
They're slowly catching up. And they're just mainly like, "How are you? What are things like here? How's it going?" And he's talking about the wyverns and the recent things that have happened. There isn't a lot that has happened. They just sound like they're just talking just to talk. They're not really having any meaningful conversation at all.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to ask them anything, or is that it?
Did I get to ask about the queen's whereabouts?
No.
Or, okay, yeah, I'm gonna, so they're in a lull in their conversation. It gets a little bit quiet and they're between bites. So I'll just kind of perk up and ask, so where's the queen? You mentioned you hadn't seen her in a while.
Oh, she's been out she went to meet Yvonne. That was her purpose for the next, 4 or 5 days. She should be back in 2 or 3 days, I think. You should have passed her on the way here after you met her, right?
Oh, did we? Yeah, of course. I remember. She was gorgeous.
Oh, yeah, obviously. What do you think I am, some sort of commoner? Get out of here. Look at this. And he sort of flexes. He's like, "Yeah. I mean, look at it. Wouldn't you want it to? Yeah." And he just sort of does the thing. His face completely covered in sauce and oil and fat.
What a man.
He's a man's man. And shortly after you guys finish eating, have you all taken a long rest from the last time we played?
Yeah.
Just verifying.
Yeah.
Because it matters.
Is there an easy way to check?
I think so.
Hit points. Make sure your second wind is back. Make sure that you have all your charges of fighting spirit, that kind of thing. You could say
Beyond or VTT.
VTT. Take a long rest real quick to make sure that you don't need anything back. Just to verify if you're unsure. If not, I need everyone to make a perception check, please. Wow. Technician letting us down for once. What the heck?
And they can't all be winning rolls, you know.
There, you guys feel small vibrations in the plates. You know when plates sort of vibrate and they begin to shake during an earthquake? That noise begins to happen. And the plates are sort of vibrating on the table, the porcelain, or I don't even know what it's called anymore. These would probably be porcelain. And everyone is sort of just looking at each other, and the king is like looking at you guys like, why you look like that? Because he very clearly can't feel it. Yvonne sort of looks at you guys as like, and he looks at you, says, I'm not the only one that feels that, correct?
Your Majesty, there appears to have been a small seismic event.
Weird. And the king is sort of unfazed. Your friend, Loershik, looks at you and goes, something just happened. That was not an earthquake. Not at all.
I gesture towards the bag again and pull it open with my finger.
He leaps off and into it. He says, we need to go right now. We gotta go right now.
Pull it tight. I look to the group. Something's going on. We need to get out of here right now.
And as you guys are eating, you're sort of on the northwest side of Talaka, and you're looking out the windows, and there's a large plume of black smoke coming from the southern edge, from the south of the city.
I stand up and I go stand immediately next to Yvonne.
Okay. He says, this could not possibly be a good thing. We should go.
This is not normal, right?
No, not
I
at
look
all.
at the king.
What do you mean? Shit like this happens all the time, but black smoke, that is not a good thing. And he sort of stands up and he clenches his things. And the aides sort of like back him off. And they just sort of push at him. They don't talk at all. And he goes, you're right. I can't afford to go into combat. I'm a king. If you guys want to go deal with it, I'll be right behind if you need support. Just go.
If something takes my attention away from large, muscular, handsome men, it's definitely danger and threat. So I'm immediately snapped out of fixating on the king and turn to join the group to check out what's going on.
Okay. You look outside and there's a large plume of black smoke, and where that temple steeple was is where the smoke where it used to be is where the smoke is now.
We should hurry.
You burst out the door, and as soon as you come outside, you notice that there's loads of people just looking at it. Yeah. So you guys I assume you're rushing toward the thing?
Mm-hmm.
I'm pulling my maul off my back and holding it.
So you're readying your weapons. Is anyone else readying weapons?
No.
I am unclear if okay. So I like have daggers and crossbows, but I generally rely on magic, so...
And you have to have at least one hand free. So I would assume, as long as you're not planning on attacking with it.
Yeah. I'm just mentally kind of preparing that we might be fighting.
Very much so. You guys run for 2 or 3 minutes. And this is the scene you come upon. I need to
What would be the proper way for me to ready psychic blades?
When you take an attack action, it's assumed that you ready a blade already, and then if you look at your psychic blades, they are manifested when you decide to attack anyway. So you don't ever have to ready weapons.
Okay.
Alternatively, your eyes start glowing bluer.
Or your face goes away is probably your thing. Your mask goes away. And this is what you come upon. Let me change the music a bit to be a little bit more. Is it end game? Hold on.
That's my favorite genre.
What?
Yeah. I'm a fan of metal myself, but
That's ooh.
it can be both.
As soon as you get to the temple, there is a giant, an undead giant that has runes painted all over his body. dressed in what appears to be giant carved runic wood, looking down on an army of what appear to be undead.
I Fog of War looks kind of different or wrong for the scene.
I know. I'm trying to figure out. I don't want to do global illumination, but I'm going to increase your vision for the purposes of this on your token. Let's do 120. I'm going to increase everyone's vision 220 feet for the purposes of this encounter, including this lady. Oh no, it already is 120 for her.
Can I look over to Evie while you're doing this, and just to check to make sure there's no drool coming off of her lips?
Order of operations, boys. It's fighting, then flirting. Let's go.
All right, what I need everyone to do is right click on your token and click the little sword and shield to add yourself to combat.
All right.
I need to add another thrall real quick to get the thrall's initiative. And then I'm going to hide him, put him on there. All right, everyone click your initiative. Why does it say Frost Giant? It shouldn't say Frost Giant. It should say this. There we
I
go.
always mess this one up. Where is that?
It's to the right of the shield.
The fist.
innie?
The fist. To the right of the chat bubble. There's a on the upper right.
Yes. Sorry.
I just clicked on my character sheet like a boob.
Steel Defender goes on the same turn as you,
Yes.
so he doesn't need a combat turn.
Oh, did I?
You did.
Nope, yep,
You did
okay.
add him. Okay. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna go on our 15-minute break, and we will start this combat as soon as we get back.
Oh boy, oh boy.
All right.
You guys excited?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, hopefully I don't flirt him to death.
Well, he is giant and undead. Very clearly not an alive being. So
Could still might be my type.
She's into necrophilia. It's fine.
it's fine. All right. So we will see you guys in 15 minutes. Welcome back,
Humbling.
everybody, to Legendary Tales after our 15-minute break. I hope everyone's break was good. Because we're getting right into combat. Let me start the music one more time. I didn't want it to be super loud when we started again. So here's our initiative order. We have, I believe we have Lorishik starting us off. Begin combat. Okay. So, Lorishik, you have movement, action, bonus action, react. Well, not reaction this turn, obviously.
Got it.
Wait, where did? Am I missing someone?
Ready.
We are ready. Go ahead and start us off, please. To reiterate, the giant guy in the middle.
Yvonne's supposed to be here, right?
Say again.
Is
Yvonne.
Yvonne's supposed to be here?
You do not see him.
We didn't come in together?
You did come in together, but you do not know where he is.
Okay. First thing I do, I reach down and I open up my bag and just whisper, you said you could help in these situations. Really need you here, man.
Of course. And he sort of climbs up your shoulder and sits on your shoulder.
I ask him, what do you see? What are we dealing with?
I see some major issues. So, the big one, first of all. Go ahead and make an insight check for me, Lorishik, real quick. At advantage, because you have your boy. Never mind.
Okay.
Would you like
2d20
to...
plus 3 is 5, yeah.
Would you like to do the thing? Would you like to do the thing?
Yeah, I would.
Go ahead and roll one more time, just regular. Just do another insight check, regular. Perfect. And the reroll comes from your will of the old king. So essentially, the old king can help you in any skill check. And he looks at it, and you're like, I don't know what I'm looking at all with the insight. And he's like, right. So if you look at it, the giant one is in charge of everyone. If you look at them, they've all got temper right in the middle of their foreheads. And he has a giant tempered set of shoulders. So it very clearly links them together. If you were to kill the big one, I believe they all die.
Okay.
That's it. That's my insight. If anything changes, I'll let you know.
I look around to the group and I say that they're all linked through their magic. We need to make sure that we try to take down whoever's in control.
Which is the giant. The giant is very clearly in control.
Yeah.
And also, this one is a voice of an ancient god.
Sorry, my sheet is not the way I had it before. Figuring stuff out.
No, you're good. And keep in mind that after that, Evie, you're ready to go. So if you want to get your stuff ready.
Yep.
Okay. How many spaces I can move my speed, right?
Yep, your speed, and it's 5 foot per.
Yeah, it's 30. How do I do the measuring thing? Oh, there it is. This character sheet won't move.
You can always double click your name and it will minimize it.
I'm going to...
And start it, if you hover over your character, it should start from where you are and end where you want to go. What the heck?
I don't know what's going on.
Oh, you're in the wrong measurement.
Oh, I see what's going on.
You're in the wrong measuring tool.
I was trying to measure my penis and... All right, I'm gonna move...
Okay.
Yeah. And... I think I'm just gonna end my turn there.
Okay. All right, that takes us to the Voice of Mumbal. He looks down, and in an ancient language, Vidar, will you make a history check for me at advantage, please? You understand him. You do, this is not common as it's currently known. He looks down and he looks directly at the party, and he goes, He just points and he goes, "Kill them all." And as he says that, you hear the unsheathing of weapons and the clickety-clackety of skeletons. And this one's going to come down the stairs. They can only move 20 feet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I assume I'm tucked right next to that wall, behind the stairs,
4.
where this
Yep.
guy's at, right? Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, wrong one. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so the thralls, because he uses action to order them to move, they got a free movement. Oh, by the way, Lorishik, if you wanted to hold your action and you're like, if someone comes within range of me, I'm slapping them, you can do that. And I'm going to assume that you wanted to do that to begin with.
Yes, that'd be great.
Okay, so go ahead and swing on him, please.
Am I just choosing which weapon I want to attack with?
Yep, you just hit the dice next to that weapon, and it should bring it up in the chat, and then you can hit attack and damage from there. That's if you hit, obviously.
It is.
Did you want to use Fighting Spirit earlier?
I didn't see it in my.
Let me make.
Oh, it's up there in active abilities. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I would like to use. Is this my bonus action?
Yeah, we should have done it beforehand, but we're gonna let this happen now, just because.
Okay.
Go ahead and use it, so it uses a charge, and it gives you 5 temporary hit points. Oh, all of your guys' hit point bars are missing. That is something that I didn't do last time. Always for everyone, hit points. Okay. Always for everyone, hit points. All right. Go and roll an attack. You have advantage on this attack because of your fighting spirit. That is a hit. Go and roll damage.
For a crit?
No, it's just if it was green, it would be a crit. 14 damage. Okay, hold on for 1 second. I just need to verify something. That skeleton absolutely explodes. His bones shatter as you kill him. And you only have 1 attack
I
at this
giggle.
point, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so that's your action done. The Voice of Mumbal is also going to move 1, 2, 3, 4 forward. And that takes us to Evie.
Okay, I'm gonna move to. I measured 30 feet here.
Okay.
And
Whoa.
cast. Oh,
It teleported you back for some reason. I got you.
thanks. Cast Chaos Bolt on the guy next to me.
Okay.
Sec. What is the leveling again?
If you want to cast at higher level, it potentially does more damage.
What's the drawback?
Is that you're using a higher level spell slot for a potentially more powerful spell later on. It's up to you.
Okay, I'll just do level 1.
Okay. That's a hit. Go and roll damage.
I was hoping for 2 of the same.
For the D8s, those are the ones that where you can cast more than 1.
Yeah.
But on that chart, what type of damage would you like to do? Thunder or psychic?
Psychic.
Okay. It just explodes and a violent amount of energy is pushed into the skeleton. Okay. Are you doing anything else with the bonus action? Anything else?
No. No.
Okay. Cool. Where is it? Vidar, it is currently your turn.
Okay, I'm going to double check to see the distance of things. 40 feet. Where is that from? I'm going to move away from things in this direction.
Okay.
And then I'm going to attack the skeleton on the very bottom left with psychic blades. Do I get a sneak attack on this one?
Not unless you want to stealth first. Wait, which skeleton?
The one in the bottom.
Okay, so the one closest to the steel defender at the moment.
Yeah.
So the requirements for sneak attack is that you have advantage on your attack, or they're right next to someone that's a friendly to you. Which you have, well,
Neither of.
I would say that you could potentially stealth. Their blind sight isn't actually that far. He actually can't see you. Oh no, he does have dark vision up to 60 feet.
Oh, that's fine. I'll just roll a regular attack, I guess.
All right, go ahead and roll it.
Not at advantage. We just discussed, right?
No, not advantage. That's a hit. Go and roll damage. He's shaky, but he's there. If you'd like to make a bonus action to attack with your second.
Yep, bonus action with the offhand.
That is a hit still. They're still skeletons. They're not that. That's a dead skeleton. Okay. Are you doing anything else?
Nope.
All right. That leads us to Technician and Defender.
Okay. Technician is going to look around for about a 3-pound brick. Rubble. Anything? Okay. He's going to pick that up and do this.
All right. Who are you throwing it at again?
So we're actually going to aim for the big guy.
Okay. A dexterity saving throw. Normal. Do damage. 20? Holy shit.
What did
So-
you chuck at him?
A
I don't
brick.
know if
I
you've ever
threw a
been
brick
hit
at
by a
him.
brick before, but it hurts.
He literally picks up a brick and it floats in his hand. And it goes and it smashes him right in the chest, and you can see that it like sort of rips off some of the skin, and it exposes a hole where his very clearly not living heart is beating, and he just looks down at you, and you can tell that one of his eyes is either non-functioning or it works and he's looking at something else.
Minor action. Hello.
And the second he does that, you weren't really paying attention too much, but he brings up an enormous great axe.
Okay.
And what is bonus action?
Yeah, bonus action. We're going to instruct defender to attack the little guy.
The skeleton?
Thrall.
Okay,
Yeah, the one directly in front.
go ahead.
There we go. Okay, and 17.
That's a hit. Go and roll damage. Oof.
Oof. Oh, okay.
He does a little bit. He barks. Arr, arr, arr. Does a little bit of damage. Are you doing anything else?
No.
Did we ever get a new skin for Defender? Or is it just steel?
No, not yet. It's basically looks like a very metal, not incredibly dog-looking dog. And it's not RRR, it's ARF, ARF, ARF.
Arf, arf, arf,
ARF, ARF.
arf, arf. Okay.
All right, that's my turn.
So the thralls are going to go. Evie, defender. 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
Lorishik, what's your AC? Are you there? What's your AC, Lorishik?
It'd be helpful if I unmuted myself.
Yeah.
It's 16.
Oh, that one hits. That one hits. They both hit with an 18. The third one can't see you because there's a wall in between the two of you. And you take a grand total of 8 damage, but you have that 5 hit point shield that you had before, so you take a total of 3 damage right now. Evie, what is your AC?
Where do I see that?
When you double click on your character sheet, it's going to be right next to your picture on the bottom right.
The hit dice thing?
No, it looks like a big shield underneath speed. Should be a big
13.
13. That's an 8. He misses. All right. Lorishik, it's your turn.
I first and foremost, I ask my friend, is there any way you can tell me more about what you see behind this wall?
There's like 2 more behind it. There's potentially more behind that. I can't see nothing past it though.
Okay. I attack the one right next to me.
Okay. The one directly to your right.
Correct.
Okay. Are you fighting spirit for advantage, or are you just attacking?
I'm just attacking.
Okay. Swing away. Yeah, that's a hit. He's not quite dead yet, but he's almost there.
I use Hungry Jaws.
Oh, as a bonus action, you're gonna bite him. Nom 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 nom.
Yep.
Okay. Go on. Wait. Why does that not have an attack with it?
That's a great question.
Let me see if I can fix that. Edit item details, bonus action, action type, melee weapon attack, strength, and then it's damage form. What's the damage on it? 1d. Where does it say that?
It doesn't tell me. This looks like an import problem.
It is an import problem.
It's I roll a 1d6 plus 5 piercing damage.
Hungry Jaws. It is.
I see what's
It's
wrong.
1 plus your strength damage. It doesn't actually have a dice associated with it.
It does, because it's a bite.
Oh.
You make a bite attack, so I do it separately.
Oh, okay. But you still have to use
So
the charge on it. Yeah.
Right. So
Good.
now I roll normal,
Yep,
right?
go and roll an attack. That's a hit. And then you gain 3 temporary hit points, so you're back up to full. And that skeleton gets shattered.
Sweet. I can move still, right?
You can try.
I want to move over next to the left side of Steel Defender.
If you do that, you'll be taking 2 attacks of opportunity because the other skeleton will be able to see you move out of his attack range. Are you okay with that?
Can I just move 1 or 5 feet to my left instead?
You'll only be taking 1 if you do that. Because you're moving out of this skeleton here, you're moving out of his attack range.
I'll just stay put.
Okay. The voice looks down. and he steps over. He steps over Evie. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh no, he can attack you from here, so he's going to do that. Evie, if you'd like to make a melee attack against him with a dagger or something, you're more than welcome to do that as he's moved out of your attack range.
Okay.
Unless, wait, do you have Warcaster?
I do.
So you should be able to use... Yeah, you could cast a spell against him if you'd like. As long as that spell has one action as its use.
Okay, can I... Can I cast Magic Missile and do all 3 on him?
Oh, absolutely.
Well,
You have to cast Magic Missile first, and then all you have to do is roll damage because you don't have to roll to hit. They all hit automatically. Okay.
do I do it?
You do it 3
2 other
times. 3
Yeah.
times. Yep. Because technically, if you wanted to, you can target different creatures with it.
Yeah, yeah.
All
That's
right.
my plan originally until he was right on top of me, so...
You sort of hit him in the back with these magic missiles. He sort of leans back and looks at you, but then keeps his eyes focused on Rep Rap. Rep Rap, what's your AC right now?
19.
Excuse me?
19. Half plate, it's imbued. It gets a +1. It's 19.
Okay. He gets 2 attacks because he's a giant. Oh, that's a 25 and a 23.
More like rip rap, am I right?
Okay. So,
You did.
Sorry, I was muted there for a second. With my reaction, I will be casting shield.
okay, so he does hit you with the first one. He misses with the second one, but he hits you with the first one. Because he rolled a 23, and that makes it miss. But the first one was a 25, so he hit you regardless with that one.
Right.
And you are alive as a result. So, you take 24 points of slashing damage as he smashes the great axe into you.
Okay.
And
Oh,
that,
that's not right.
that was a really low
Other
roll. Ooh.
There we go.
So he basically stomps over Evie, looks down, and just goes, and a huge sort of crack appears in Rep Rap as the giant begins to smash him. With a bonus action, he looks back at the skeletons and says, "Rage!" And all of them begin to glow a bright red. And they all begin to like shake violently, and you can hear their bones clattering together. And with that, they will have advantage on all of their attacks for this round. Evie.
Okay, can I cast Magic Missile again on 3 of them?
On the skeletons?
Yeah,
Sure.
alright.
Will you point at which skeletons you're shooting him
Yeah.
at, please? I saw that.
It will be first this one,
Okay. Okay.
and then this one,
Okay.
and then this one.
Okay.
Oh.
You release a volley of magic missiles, and they shoot into all 3 of them. Are you doing anything with your bonus action?
Yeah, I kind of want to face step away from, like, over to the
That's
wall
what I would
side of
do.
Lorishik. Okay,
That's
I'm
what I
gonna
would
do
do.
that. I'm gonna do that. 1 second.
What's the range on that? Like fucking 1,000 feet or something?
It is this.
30 feet. So here, I'll measure out 30 feet for you, and then you can move yourself.
Sweet.
So basically this line
yeah,
here.
I think, yeah, I'm gonna go here.
Okay, so you phase step away, and then I believe they're immune to fear. Frightened. They're immune to being frightened because they're undead. So.
Quick question about the seasonal stuff. Is that at a different level? Or since I'm at 3rd, I can do one of those things now or no?
No, you can always do one of those. Oh yes, you would be able to do that, but they're skeletons, so they're immune to fear. They're immune to being frightened.
Oh, gotcha.
Which is why I say that. So,
right, gotcha.
if
right?
yeah, if it was any other creature, they would be frightened. But undead,
or if it was
undead.
a different season.
Exactly, it would be a different effect.
All right, cool. Thanks.
And that takes us to Vidar.
Do I get the sneak attack damage now on the thralls that are next to Steel Defender and
Absolutely. And that's
Loershik?
because Loershik and the Steel Defender are allies and they're next to them. So yes.
Well, I'm going to sneak attack on the one next to Loershik.
Okay.
I have to push a button to make it a sneak attack?
No, it should be on the versatile damage. It's not. No. Yeah.
Again.
Okay, so just roll the attack. You have to hit first, obviously.
At advantage or?
No.
Okay.
That still hits. They're skeletons. They're not exactly armored. So click the regular damage on the dagger, and then the damage on the sneak attack as well. What? Okay. Okay. That's a dead thrall.
Are there hit bars for the thralls and the troll, or do we
For
just
me.
have to remember? Okay. So we just remember who we hit and how many?
Yeah. I mean, that's a little bit meta, but if you want to go that far, you're more than welcome to do that.
I'm going to now bonus action stab the one that's sitting next to Steel Defender.
You do not get psychic. You do not get sneak attack for this. You only get sneak attack once per turn. So, just an FYI. Wow, that's it. That's a dead skeleton. Okay. And are you doing anything else?
No, sitting here.
Technician, it's your turn. You just got smashed by this giant creature.
Yes. Quick question about that giant creature. Is it flanked?
The Steel Defender actually has... I think it has... Vigilant? No, there's something that the Steel Defender has, right? That
Yes.
imposes...
Well, it has Vigilant.
Oh.
No, I'm sorry. I was asking if your giant...
So here's the thing.
voice is
We haven't
flanked. Okay.
talked about this. And this is up to you guys. If you guys get flanking, I get flanking. That's how this works. So flanking is if you have creatures next to each other, right? So if you guys are on opposite sides of a creature, that creature's flanked, you have advantage against that creature. Okay? So this is something you guys need to agree on. Because it doesn't go that you get it and I don't. It's we all get it or none of us get it.
That's fair.
It makes sense. If we're surrounded, they should have advantage, and if we surround them, we should have advantage.
Okay.
Is this more likely to benefit us, Day? Or is he setting us up for a trap?
Porking no stuff.
Extreme. You know what? Extreme metagaming. I will say this. If you've been paying attention to the situations, there tend to be more of them than there are of us. So, I think I need to take the safe action here. Otherwise, we're gonna have a bad time. Is quaffing a health potion? Is that a bonus?
It's
or
a
is that full
bonus action. It's supposed to be an action
Okay.
in the rules, but it's not. Because that's not how
Gotcha.
potions work. It shouldn't take an entire 6 seconds to down a potion. I'm sorry. I've watched people on TikToks drink 24 ounces of fluid in less than 3 seconds. Drinking a potion is not taking 6 seconds. I'm sorry.
Okay. In that case, action to disengage.
Okay.
And movement to. Is it? I'm sorry. What's the measuring tool again?
Here, how far can you go? 30 feet?
30. Yeah.
So you
I want to
basically
move
can
over
go.
by Vidar.
You can go over here
Okay.
if you want to move
right.
yourself over
Got it.
there.
So thank you.
I got you.
We'll go over there. Bonus action, potion of healing, which I don't.
Oh, I
see if those
didn't.
showed
I
up
didn't.
in
I
my-
didn't give it. I didn't
Yeah.
give it back to you. Hold on. Let me. You had
Okay.
used a couple already, right?
I believe I had 8 left
8 left. Okay.
because we each had 10. I thought.
Potion of
Could be wrong
healing.
on that.
There's one. It should be. It just use
Perfect.
that one, and then we'll change the charges afterwards. Just set the charges. Oh,
Thank
nope,
you.
it's there. There you go. Here's another one. We'll set that to 7.
Oh, okay.
There you go. And I'll be sure to add it to your D&D Beyond once we're done with the session.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep, that's my turn.
You have a steel defender.
Okay, right, yeah. Sorry, same turn. Steel defender may only move or dodge because I didn't command it specifically, so it is actually going to
Dodge?
going to stay.
Is it
Yeah,
okay?
it's going to dodge.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I'll have disadvantage attack if I choose to attack it. That is. Okay, so the thralls are going to begin hoarding people. This one is going to dash through his teammates. So he's not attacking. So Loershik is taking 2 attacks at advantage.
Because of
Can we-
flanking?
No, they are enraged.
Oh,
The voice used his bonus action to enrage the skeletons.
Are we allowed to like discuss our next actions and plan them together?
Not unless you guys are physically next to each other and you have taken time to do so during your turn.
Okay.
It's purely part of metagaming. If you guys would like to, I'll let a little bit of table talk, but not so much that it's like we're taking away from our progress in playing the game. You get what I mean? As long as you're not taking loads and loads of time and it's slowing the game down. That's my
Yep.
that's my philosophy.
Gotcha. Thanks.
Advantage, I rolled a 7. This one has regular because the steel defender imposes disadvantage on creatures attacking creatures other than the steel defender. That's a 12, so nothing hits Loershik. And then there are 3 going against the steel defender at advantage. 5, 13, and that's a hit. Wait, what's its AC? 15?
15.
Yep.
Does
Yep.
the dodge only go against the voice?
No, the dodge goes against everything.
It takes
So
3 points of damage. They're skeletons after all, you know? They're not exactly the
Yeah.
best creatures in the world.
But did you say that the
Bones
skeletons
versus steel
rolled at-
this night.
Say again?
You said they rolled at advantage. Did that not count the dodge?
Oh,
Does he only get
they still they trust me. One of them with normal attack rolled a 20. It's about average for me, to be fair. And with that, the thralls are done. Loershik, it's your turn.
I ask my friend, any ideas, dude?
Well, we have to get to the big one as soon as we can. Take out the little ones. I mean, it's a wall. Break through the wall and we'll be fine. Because honestly,
fighting spirit?
moving away from them is a terrible idea. Because they're just gonna overwhelm you.
I appreciate that. Thank you. I use fighting spirit
Okay.
and I attack this one with Mumbaal.
That puts you to 42.
I get advantage, right? Because
You
of
do
fighting
get
spirit?
advantage because of fighting spirit.
I think I
Oh,
hit.
that's a hit. That's a damage.
I demolish him with my maul. He's a dead bitch. Again dead bitch.
True. He's even more dead than he was before. Are you doing anything else, like
His
moving
hit
away,
points
or are
have
you
reached
good?
0. I already used my bonus action, so I'm just gonna stay put.
Okay. The voice turns. Looks at Evie and says, "Come here." I need you to make a wisdom or it's wisdom saving throw, please.
And that one is the whiz on the top.
Yep. You click whiz and it will say saving throw or ability check, and you say saving throw. Oh. You are charmed. And you are forced to move your full movement toward the voice. So you have to move directly to him if you can.
Like that.
Yep. And as a bonus action, he's going to rage. Okay. I need all of you to make a history check, please.
What does Charmed do?
Oh my
God.
my god. What?
We're all struggling a little bit.
Charmed means that he basically tells you how to take your turn.
Okay.
But at the end of your turn, you can make another wisdom saving throw, and you can break out of it at the end of your turn if possible.
Can I?
It's like it's a minor form of mind control, essentially.
Okay.
Would
Do
I
we
have
identify
to?
what language he's speaking?
No, this is purely recognizing that he's raging just like the king did.
Right. You said he said come here.
Mhm.
Just want to make sure. Like,
You have to make an
did we say
Arcana
that?
check to see if you know what he's doing.
Should I? Are you telling me to?
Let's go ahead and do that on your turn. But for the time being, Evie, what do you have available to you? Let's look at your spell list here. He's going to have you. He's going to have you Chaos Bolt Technician.
Okay.
At level 1, please.
So I turn to Technician and do this.
Fuck.
And then I'm assuming that hits, so damage.
Shield as a reaction.
It's meet or beat. Oh, yeah. If you want to shield his reaction, go ahead.
Yeah. Shield as a reaction.
Okay,
Beat.
so his AC is now 24, and you miss him.
Okay. Amazing. So I can I do another wisdom saving throw to try and get out of this.
Sure, go ahead. I'm sorry, this is not charmed. This is a full mind control for him. Because he is a voice of a god. He's the voice of a god. You successfully break out of the mind control. His ability is called Voice of Domination, because that's what Mumbaal does. So you you shoot your Chaos Bolt at Technician, and then you sort of wake up out of it. You're like, oh no, what did I do?
And I'm still right under him.
Yeah. And then you sort of turn around and realize that you're standing directly underneath him.
Okay. And that's my turn, right?
Yep. Yes. So that takes us to Vidar. What are you doing?
I am going to. attack. I would get a sneak attack if I go after the big guy still, right? Because
Evie's Evie's right next to him. Absolutely.
Cool. I'm going to do my regular attack first.
That does not hit.
I don't get the sneak attack if it didn't hit, right?
No,
Or do
no,
I still?
no. But you can still use it on your offhand if you want to use your bonus action to attack the
Yeah,
voice.
I'm gonna use my bonus action to attack as well.
Okay, go ahead. That's a hit, and now you get sneak attack damage.
And I can roll the regular damage
Yep.
first, right?
Yep. And then if you want to do, there you go, perfect. And 9, 17, because he is not resistant to psychic damage. That is actually the one damage he's not resistant to. Are you doing anything else?
Nope. Still just sitting here.
Dope. I need all of you to make no, technician, go ahead.
Okay. We're gonna crossbow.
Fire away. That's
All right.
a nat 20. Let's go.
Here we go.
Booty pumping.
Booty pump Dominic, let's go. That what a shit roll. For
Yeah. Oof. All right. We do that. Bonus action: commanding Steel Defender to attack.
the
big
I
voice.
get the perfect
Okay.
shot
The-
off
the
on
voice,
that crossbow. The perfect shot.
Perfect shot. Yep. And it could have been 19, but it wasn't. Okay. So Steel Defender's going to attack.
That's a hit for sure. Oh, he's a 19. Oof. Well, he did as much damage as you did.
Excellent. Look at that. Look at that. Blah blah blah. Force damage if it matters.
Oh, it does not.
Okay.
If it's psychic, it matters.
Got it. That's my turn. Yeah.
Okay. The thralls are going to go now. This guy's gonna move in here, and the rest of them are just gonna keep piling on the Steel Defender. Luckily, this one attacking Loershik doesn't have. He still has advantage, not disadvantage, because he's not next to Steel Defender. And he still rolled a 12. I'm the greatest roller of all time. I'm so good at this game. Okay. The Steel Defender did not take a dodge action this turn. One hit, 2 hits, 3 hits, 4 hits. 7, 14, 16, 23 damage.
We don't do death saving throws with the defender, do we?
Yes, we do. It's still considered a living
do?
creature.
Oh, okay.
It's
Gotcha.
still a creature. So, wait, he took how much? What's his total hit points right now?
Sorry, you
So
said
he
the
just
damage was
got reduced to
23?
0, right? Yeah, he just got reduced to 0, so he'll take his death
Yeah,
saving throw
yeah,
on
yeah.
his turn. And with that, I need everyone to make a perception check, please, at the very end of this turn.
I
You
just learned
guys,
something about this.
Sorry,
card.
Yvonne appears from behind,
Oh, nice of you to show up.
and he actually takes his turn at the end here. He says, "Oh, I am here now," and he goes and he begins to cast a spell. boom, and you see like the sort of head, the head of this giant creature sort of boils for a moment, and he takes a. Yeah, he was never gonna pass that. And you see that he sort of cringes with his head as he shrieks in pain. And Yvonne casts Synaptic Static on him for what is actually garbage damage. Okay. Loershik.
I start off with. Hold on a second. I just attacked this guy right here next to me with my maul.
Go ahead.
I use Will of the Old King.
Will of the Old King. Roger. Go ahead and
That's
use it. Just don't roll again. Normal attack. Perfect. That's a hit. That's a dead skeleton.
Okay.
It explodes in
And
dust.
I can attack this guy diagonal to me, right? Because he's right next to me.
Do you have the ability to do that?
I'm just asking, like, because he's.
Oh,
diagonal,
of course. Your
All right.
attack range is
I use
anyone.
action surge.
Oh shit!
Why won't it won't let me click it?
Really?
Yeah, it says one special, but when I click the die, it just doesn't do anything.
Oh, just let me.
Because I have to use it, right? Or do you just want me to decrement its usage?
It doesn't.
manually?
Yeah, it definitely doesn't. It's not doing anything. I'll look into it for a second. Just decrease it. Oh.
All right.
Action type. Other. Try it.
Want me to try again?
Now? Yeah, try it now.
Yep, it works.
Perfect. I just had to give it an
Alright.
action type.
I attack the one diagonal to me with my maul.
That's a hit. Shatters into pieces. Loershik going ham.
I just big shit-eating grin. I look over to my friend on my shoulder still.
He winks at you. Good job, Mike.
That's the end of my turn.
Okay, that goes to the voice. The voice turns around and looks down. And he swings on Yvonne. One hit for the worst amount of damage I have ever seen out of the dice he rolled. Okay. So he goes back and he swings on Yvonne, and Yvonne nimbly dodges out of the way. And then the second attack comes, and he goes to parry it. Yvonne also has a rapier out right now. He goes to parry it with the rapier, and it does slow it down a little bit, but he still takes like a really bad slam to his shoulder. Evie. Oh, I have to add rage damage onto that. Okay, that's fine. What?
If I cast darkness around like this cluster of like the thrall and the troll, do I can't move after. I have to move before, and if I move
No,
before,
you can
do
move.
they
You can
get a-
move any time in your turn,
Okay.
up
so,
to 30 feet. If you would like to cast darkness first and then move, you can do that.
Yeah, that. I want to do that.
Okay, go ahead and cast darkness.
And I'm putting it here,
Shit.
and then I will move. I'm gonna have to measure.
You want me to measure for you? I got you.
Uh,
You can move down here. You can move pretty much. You can move pretty much
I'll just-
anywhere. You could actually move over to Yvonne if you wanted to move over to Yvonne. You could do that.
I'm gonna move
Right
to
here?
Yvonne. Yeah.
Next to him, or I got you. Just one of
Yeah.
these two spaces.
Yeah, just the one a little bit farther away.
Right there.
Yep.
Perfect. As you guys are looking, you sort of generate that smoke. You run out of it, and Yvonne goes, "Well done, my jelly bean."
God. Just to be clear, as I like basically backflipped and cartwheeled out of the darkness, land in like a superhero pose next to him, and he's absolutely probably enthralled with that.
He absolutely is. There's like, if you want to make an insight check, you could look if you want to.
I'm gonna leave some things to be desired.
Okay. Vidar, what are you doing? A giant cloud of, is it also 15 feet high? How tall is that darkness spell? 15-foot radius sphere. So the giant is not fully in it. There are pieces of the giant you can still see.
So I can't see the thralls though.
Nope, the thralls are completely enshrouded.
I guess I'll attack the big guy. Oh, and he's within range of Yvonne, so it doesn't matter if the Steel Defenders did. I can still
Well,
sneak attack
you
him.
have advantage. If we're going by flanking, you would have advantage on this as well.
Oh, good. But I wouldn't be able to attack any of the thralls because they're in the smoke.
You physically cannot see them because
Okay.
it's a shadow sorceress spell, or shadow sorceress specific ability.
Way to ruin everything, Evie.
Listen, I was underneath all of them without anyone. I had to do what I had to do. If I moved,
It would have been a bad time.
The chasing attack on me. So don't come at me.
I sent crossbow bolts. Hope it helps. Thoughts and prayers as well.
As much as
yeah,
since they help as much as your crossbow bolts, apparently.
And I get an advantage on
You do get advantage on it, yes. Are you serious right now? You do not hit, but if you'd like to attack again at advantage with your second attack,
Yay, second attack advantage.
that's a hit. And now you can use sneak attack damage as well. $15. Psychic damage, so it doesn't reduce it at all. Okay. Are you doing anything else, Vidar?
No,
Vidar.
just hanging out here still.
Okay. Technician.
Right, another crossbow attack. Still flanked, right?
Yep, he's definitely considered flanked still. Oh,
Here
please,
Here comes another
please!
minimum roll on damage. Here we go.
That's
Okay,
not
there we
bad.
go.
It's still
not bad. I'll
it's
take it.
still not great, but it's good. It's good. It's good enough.
Yeah. And then bonus action, we're gonna quaff the pot.
Okay, go ahead.
Nice.
And that takes us to the thralls. Who are going... Oh, what are they going to do? They're going to step out of the smoke. Now that they can see you, they're going... Hello, Lowershik. How are you doing?
I just smile at them as they approach me.
You're asking for it.
One of them hit you with advantage. Are you serious right now? My rolls are so good. You take 6 points of damage. Okay. And that brings us to Yvonne. He's actually going to do... Since the Steel Defender is unconscious, he's going to do another Synaptic Static. Okay. Let's do this. Oh, he does save, but 12. Okay. That brings us to Loershik.
Sorry, real quick, I just realized we forgot to do a death saving throw for.
We
Steel
did. Will you
Defender.
go ahead and do that for me, please?
Yes. Where is that in the UI?
Since he's at 0 hit points, you hover over his. Wait, he doesn't have it.
Yeah.
We're just gonna say he's unconscious and stabilized because he's a machine. He
Okay.
can't bleed out.
Gotcha. Fair enough.
And you can just mend him after this anyway. Unless the giant goes out of his way to stomp the shit out of him, he'll probably live anyway.
Yeah, that was the plan. So.
I am going to use Fighting Spirit.
Obviously, your last one.
So I added the 5 to my health.
Okay.
And then I'm going to attack the guy on the stairs.
Okay, that's a hit. You didn't attack with advantage, by the way.
Whoops.
Either way, he's dead. It was a good shot. Like it. Crushed him skulls.
Can I move at this point?
You can try.
I would like to try to move to right here.
So you're trying to move there?
Yes.
They're both going to take opportunity attacks against you. Unless you have something that prevents me from doing this.
I don't believe I do.
What the heck? Okay. It won't let me click on that old one. That's a 5. And a nat 20.
Nice. So 1 hits.
1 crits you for 7!
7? Nice.
Yeah.
Soak up those temporary hit points, buddy.
I know, right? It's almost like I made your character tanky as fuck. Okay. Are you doing anything else?
I'm going to end my turn right there.
The voice is going to step out of the cloud.
Ugh.
Take 1 look at Evie. Die! And swing on you twice.
Can I shield for one of them?
Shield. If you say shield as a reaction, you are good. You just have 5 more AC. So you're 18 AC now. Correct?
Yep.
He's going to attack recklessly on both attacks to make sure he has advantage on both. Oh no! What are your total hit points?
30.
One of them missed and one of them crit. And I want you to know that he's rolling 6d12 damage for this. You're at 0 hit points.
I have a thing for this situation.
Okay. What's that?
Strength of the Grave. I need help sometimes. This.
Oh, that's right. Make a charisma saving throw. Oh, you're not. You cannot pass this save. I'm letting you know that you have to
Okay.
roll a 61.
So I shouldn't even try and just not
you
use this.
you literally can't do it.
Okay.
It's a nat 20 only puts you at like 28 because
Gotcha.
you
Okay.
take 56 points of damage, and I'm not even kidding. 56. 6d12 plus 6 damage.
Bullshit.
You were 4 hit points from being fully dead.
Okay.
4 hit points from being fully dead.
So what do I set
You're
my hit points? to?
0. You're just at 0. He looks at you, and you can see like the rage in his bones as he like crunches down on you, and Evie just crumples onto the floor with a huge slash across her chest, and she's bleeding. As Mumbaal begins to laugh, as the voice of Mumbaal begins to laugh. Evie, will you make a death saving throw for me, please? So on your character sheet, you see the skull. Perfect. You failed 1 death saving throw. If you fail 3, you die.
Okay.
And the worst part is no one can see what's happening except Yvonne.
That's so tragic and poetic.
Actually, darkness is a concentration spell. Is it not? It is. So the darkness goes away.
So I would assume that we see the giant run over there, swing his giant axe.
No. What you saw,
you saw the smoke disappears?
Yeah, you saw that. The smoke disappears, and Evie is in a pile on the floor, bleeding profusely. That takes us to Vidar.
Wait, can Yvonne go, jelly bean?
He will react as soon as it's his turn.
Did I actually note, was the language that he was speaking my
It is.
language,
It is
right?
the ancient language that you speak.
How far away is he right now? 55? Yeah, I can still hit him from here. I'm going to attack him, and while I'm attacking, I yell out in his language, "What have you done?"
You
Is
have
that
advantage because
normal?
I would consider that Yvonne is flanking still. He's so big that I would just consider it. You get what I mean?
Yeah. 22 hit.
Yep.
And sneak attack damage. And
Nice.
And then also following up with the offhand. And this gun has advantage too still?
It
Is
does.
it always 21 hit?
It does. Okay. You throw your daggers, and he looks at you with his like one glowing eye that he has, and you can see that he recognized you. And that unless you're doing anything else, it takes us to technician.
Actually, how far are these away from me?
They're like
I'm
15
going-
feet.
Yeah, I'm gonna just stay here. It's fine.
Okay. Technician.
Right. Okay. Crossbow.
It does not hit.
Nope. Does not hit. Got it.
Are you doing anything else?
Movement. Let's see here. To the, I guess, south end of the fountain here.
Will you measure it again for me?
Oh,
Oh, no, that should be good. I think that's good.
yeah.
Yep. Anything else?
No, that's it.
They're both going to dash. And they're both preparing to smash Evie.
Oh, rephrase.
They're both planning on killing you. They're going to literally
Even in my death.
There will be some teabagging, but not the kind you expect.
Yvonne turns and goes, "No! But remember, heroes never die." And he literally looks at you, and you are healed for
Oh, babe.
you are healed.
mercy?
You are healed for 6 damage. So you stand up, The wound across your body has sealed itself for the moment. If you set your hit points to 6, you'll find that your death saving throws are reset, and you are just fine. And that's his bonus action. And at his big action he's going to do is he's going to do his final cast. And he's going to cast... I need to make a... What is this one? I need to know what the saving throw is. It's wisdom. Yvonne looks up. He goes, "You may not have any more jelly beans." He snaps, and the body of the Voice of Mumbal crumbles into like a pile on the ground. He only had 2 hit points left, and he literally talked a vicious mockery, and he killed the Voice of Mumbal with vicious mockery. And with that, the skeletons crumble to the ground as well.
Just as meta, vicious mockery death is probably my favorite death. That's got to be the best.
And with that, the Voice of Mumbal crumbles, and so does his armor, leaving behind, and all of the skeletons leave behind a very small portion of temper, like powder on top of them. It's not really salvageable at this point. And then there are the large pauldrons that appear to decay and rust and turn into dust, as well as all of the bodies. What do you guys do as soon as combat is now over? End combat.
I walk over to Yvonne immediately.
Okay.
Rep is going to go mend a defender.
So you're going to take a minute and cast mending?
Yep.
Okay.
Hopefully that's a Yeah, it's a cantrip.
It is a cantrip. Yep.
I'm also joining the checking in on Yvonne and Evie party.
Evie looks terrible right now.
Thanks.
No, you probably have, like, you're in so much pain that it is just...
No, I just basically died and came back, so...
So what are you guys doing?
Talking.
You're not...
I ask Yvonne immediately, where were you?
I was making sure they did not have backup. I was doing my job.
Our job is to protect you, and you left us.
I did, but I showed up. I wanted to make sure there was not reinforcements. That is all.
You have to understand how suspicious that looks, yes?
It looks suspicious, but I showed up, did I not? I could have let you all die, but I chose not to.
I'm
You
gonna,
only
like,
let 2 of us almost die.
slightly snap at Lorishik, and say, "Can you give it a rest? He literally just saved my life."
See? She understands.
I huff and I walk away.
Where do you go? Are you going to investigate inside? What's your plan? Like, what are you doing?
I go up into the ruins and wander over near this puddle.
As you're looking through the ruins and talking to your friend, there are loads of clerics and other holy religious type corpses everywhere. Most of them are like dismembered, like cut in half. A lot of them appear to have been clawed to death by these skeletons. And in the middle of, it's not really represented here properly because I found this map on Patreon, but in the middle of this room, there's a large, what appears to be sinkhole that leads downward under the ground that appears to have filled itself in, but it's very clear where these creatures came from.
Would that be in the center of the big room?
Yes, where that pillar is right here. It's actually, you know what? I can actually illustrate it. Hold on. It's like this size, and it's right in the center. You'd be inside of it.
Okay. I look to my friend and I say, now that we've been in combat together, it's probably good that I know your name.
Oh. My name. What you want that for, eh? What's your deal?
Figure you should know your friends' names, right?
Oi. My name's Callum.
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 Just Callum?
Yeah. Callum Earthshaker. Sorry, Earthshaker. Fuck, it's so fucking weird having no teeth.
What do you make of this sinkhole, Callum?
I think they came out of the ground. Who knows? Who knows beyond this point? I don't know. That's what caused the earthquake, though. That's what it looks like. What do you think?
I think it's strange that they're powered by temper, and the king is also powered by temper.
It's better than being soul stitched.
You're right.
Just saying. They didn't look soul stitched to me, and that would have been where the issue lies.
I want to look into the hole and see if I see any other people or bodies.
There's literally probably a dozen corpses like covered in dirt, like just dead people lying in the middle of the sinkhole that the dirt has sort of covered in on itself.
Got it. And do I see any temper or anything glowing in the hole?
Not at all. There's no sign of temper whatsoever.
Okay. I walk out front and I meet up with Technician, and I just let him know there's a giant hole in those ruins, and I'm willing to bet that's where these guys came from.
So Technician is going to turn his head over his shoulder and say, somebody should give her a healing potion. And then he's going to address Lord Check. How far down does the hole go?
Too deep to tell.
So they came from below. Their temper disappeared as soon as they expired.
Yvonne walks over to Evie and offers his hand to her.
I'm super weak, but I'll take kind of the edge of it and ask if he has anything to help me.
He puts his second hand on your hand as he grasps it because you look weak, and he heals you for 20 points with Cure Wounds.
Dang.
He says, don't worry. We are all a part of the same party, and we will not die. The day is not the day that we die.
I would just to thank him and stand up.
You feel much
How do you
stronger
thank
now.
him?
You're still in pain, but what's up? What was that?
Nothing.
What was that, Laura?
Nothing.
What was
Said
that?
Nothing. Nothing
He'll
came out.
get his thanks.
Sounds like somebody's a little jelly bean.
Vidar, what are you doing?
I had was starting to take a healing potion out of my bag when he healed her, and I put it back in. And slightly unaware of the situation, I say, "It looks like you're doing better now, Jelly Bean."
Yvonne looks at you and he says, that is my name for her. Thank you. I would appreciate if you do not use it.
Oh, I just thought that was a thing that we were doing. I apologize.
No, it is a name I have chosen for her. If that is okay with you.
Given the circumstances, normally I would not be. Names like Jellybean are not the type of affections that I enjoy, but given the situation and what I'm looking at the moment, I kind of just like nod into it and let him have it.
Okay. He looks around. He says, does anyone else require healing? I have a little bit of energy left to invest if you require healing.
I look over my shoulder back at him and just huff and look back at Defender.
And he says, "Don't worry, Lorshek. I have some for you too." And he does the blowing a kiss thing at you. He spends a 3rd level spell slot.
Blow a kiss.
Blow a kiss.
Yeah, he blows a kiss at you. Plus,
Is that cure wounds or vicious mockery? Which one is it?
you're healed for 13 points of damage, Lorshek, with healing word.
Oh, okay. Yep.
I was gonna say 0. What?
It did some fun stuff.
Maybe we should investigate. If someone would like to look through this giant monster's body, I say we go inside and see what happened.
I collect a bunch of the bones, as many as I can reasonably fit in.
A lot
in 2
of them,
handfuls.
a lot of them turn to dust, but there are a handful of other bones that you can manage to gather.
Rep and Defender are gonna move up and investigate.
Okay, go ahead, roll an investigation check. Is anyone going inside the temple?
I'll go back inside.
I want to go after
Two.
Lorshek. Because I noticed that he's pissed off. Or do I notice that he's pissed off? He was huffing. That feels like very aggressive.
That's not. This is not.
It's lizard world, lizard speak.
But this is not normal behavior for him. Normally, he's very upbeat and things like that. So,
Right. So
you can move your
Gonna-
character around with your arrow keys if you want to do that. Go chase him. Technician.
Mhm.
You're going through the like shambles of what used to be of this creature. There's a little bit of cloth, a little bit of wood left over, and on directly in the pile, you find the eyeball of this creature was not real. It is synthetic, and it appears to be carved out of obsidian, and it has a tempered iris.
Okay.
Because you're like digging through it with the stick, or the defender's going through it because he's not organic. He's like sort of looking at it, and he sort of like chirps or arfs. He arfs at you, and he sort of points out the eyeball as you're looking through it, and just looks up at you.
Oh,
And it's about
man,
the
this
size
would
of a
be-
baseball, just for reference,
So-
because it was a giant. It's not like a normal person. So it's like
This would be a great time to have another spell slot.
an obsidian sphere.
I would like to investigate that very specifically, or
Are
insight
you
it?
going to touch it?
Yes.
As you're going to touch it, Yvonne looks at you and says, "I would not do that." Just
Do you know what this is?
I do not, but anything coming out of an undead creature that large, it is tempered, is probably a trap of some sort. Can you identify it? You are an artificer, are you not?
I cannot. I have no more ability to.
If you cast it as a ritual,
Oh,
it doesn't take a spell slot.
yep. There we go. That's I need to play casters more often.
Yes, yes, you do. While you're identifying the spell, Vidar, while you're working on identify, I think takes 10 minutes as a ritual.
I believe so. Yeah.
We're going to take basically you're going to take 10 minutes to do that. Vidar, what are you doing?
I was going to be hanging around, or I was going to go into the temple with them, but the way that Lorshek huffed when he walked off and Evie went after him, I'm going to assume that they need to have some chatting time or something. Maybe they're going to fight, and I don't want to deal with that.
Okay, so you're just hanging out while he is identifying this eyeball.
Yeah, just trying
While identifying it, Rep would like to say, Vidar, you spoke its language. What was that?
I'm not sure I even remember. It just is a thing that I am programmed to know.
From when?
From when I was created.
How long ago?
To be honest, not sure. I have gone into hibernation mode for millennia at a time. I have
I
no idea
understand.
I have no idea how much time passed while I was hibernating.
I understand. Just going to continue my identification.
And Rep and Vidar would understand that there are modes that Warforged can go into for self-preservation and just shut down systems until an external force awakens them, and that's what happens usually. It can happen. It's not like it has.
S3 sleep, you just take the entire state, shove it in RAM, power down everything else.
Pretty
Yeah,
much.
Gotcha.
While you're identifying, you guys are sort of having a small conversation. Loershik and Evie, what are you doing? You're walking around, and there's probably about 30 or 40 dead creatures or what used to be people in this room, all wearing the same sort of quote-unquote ceremonial or ritual garb, that all have white. It's all white with like a gold fittings and gold accoutrement, and the overall symbol of a golden cross with a silver star behind it. All that same iconography. It's all very, very much the same.
Can I do a religion check to see if I?
Sure, and go ahead and go ahead and take an advantage because you have Callum
No,
with you.
Why not 9?
You want to use
Can I
the
use-
wisdom of the old king?
Yeah, why not? We're out of combat, so this is to be expected.
Yeah, of course. I mean, everyone fails at combat sometimes, but you did extremely well.
Do I get advantage again?
Yes, absolutely. There you
Nice.
go. Callum whispers in your ear. He's like, right, these are all worshippers of Gleam. That man was alive when I was alive. He was a real person. Gleam. They called him Light's Advent. That was just before the age of soul stitching. Before he ascended.
Did I hear Lorishik say Gleam ? To no one?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah, just before the age of soul stitching came upon us and the death of the old gods.
I look over to Evie and ask her, Gleam, have you ever heard of that god? Sounds familiar.
Yeah, it wasn't just, this is checking something. Gleam was the last voice that we met. They were the voice of Gleam. Or
No, they were
that
the
was
voice.
someone else?
They were the voice of Plague Lord Uruk.
Where were we hearing about Gleam?
Queen was the reason that I wanted to come to
Yep.
Talaka in the first place.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't think I had any direct conversation with Vidar. Meta.
No, but you were in the area when they were talking about it.
Okay.
You were
I was just
nearby. You were
reminded.
close enough to know about it. I know that for a fact because you guys haven't really separated too far. So most of the in-character conversations that have happened, you were close enough to know about. Whether or not you were paying attention, it probably was familiar to you. Not necessarily like, oh, I know exactly what that is, but more of a like, we've talked about this before. I don't remember exactly when, but there you go.
Can
Didn't
I
I talk to
do?
somebody directly about it? Who did
Oh.
I talk to about it?
I think you talked to Yvonne about it
Oh.
because he was the one that was like, I know where that is. It's here.
Can I do a history check to see if I have any like background on Gleam
It'd be religion specifically.
religion?
Mm-hmm. Your familiarity with Gleam is that you know that he's not part of the same pantheon as your god. Because your god is Jingle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So your god and Gleam are opposite pantheons. Yours is part of the Outcast pantheon, and Gleam and Plague Lord Uruk are part of the Wild pantheon. It's not like they're at odds with each other. They're just two separate pantheons.
Separate, yeah. Gotcha.
I look to Evie and say, I don't trust Yvonne. I don't trust Bounty Master Sinold. I don't think I can trust anyone at this point. Things seem too fishy. Why are we protecting someone who can protect himself, and why did he run away?
I will, as much as I'm obviously slightly smitten with Yvonne, after the incident in the inn with the banshee and just some of the questionable behavior around him, I have some doubts. So I sympathize with Lorishik, and but kind of like on the flip coin, ask, you've also been a little bit sketchy around like talking to yourself and banging on tables and shutting yourself off when things are happening. What's going on? Like, where are you getting this insight, this information?
I just haven't been the same since our encounter with the Skeleton King. And I'm starting to gesture as if I'm walking past Evie. I want to go closer so I can call to Vidar and try to get his attention.
Okay. So you call out for Vidar. Vidar, you hear Lurishik calling you from inside the temple.
I assume that they were talking quietly enough that I didn't hear their conversation.
Oh
other
yeah,
than him
they're
calling
too
me.
far away, and the walls
Okay.
between you and them and everything.
Okay, I'll assume that if I didn't hear fighting, that it's
As
I'll
Vidar's
approach.
walking in, I turn to Evie and I tell her, we could talk about it later, but I think that there's some things that you and I should talk about that happened while we were at that inn.
I'll just nod and accept that as a response, especially since up to this point it's been, I'm not telling you anything.
I stop on the edge of the pit as I walk up rather than going all the way around and just look like you called.
Vidar, these robes, the insignia, it seems familiar. I think you might care
Yes.
about it.
This is the insignia of Gleam Light's Advent. This is the same insignia that the queen was wearing on her necklace when we when we found the scythe that was Soulforged or Soul
Stitched.
But
Hey, I said the name of the episode.
There it is.
When we found the Soul Stitched scythe, and I said that I knew of someone who might be able to remove it, it was Gleam. But
Is Gleam alive?
he was last I knew of it, but that was a long time ago. He appears to have ascended to godhood at this point.
But that we're in the ruins of a temple. Does this whole city worship Gleam?
That I do not know.
Make a history check for me, Evie, please. You know that a vast majority of this area as a whole worships Gleam as like a sort of positive a positive affector of events. And it's sort of like Gleam is seen as a good fortune god as well as a life god. So it's sort of like just a general boon as opposed to a geas or some sort of negative aspect. Gleam is just a hopeful ray of sunshine, essentially, for a world that desperately needs it. So,
okay, I'll just respond to both of them and say, it's less of a worship and more of a beacon of hope for the people around here.
Didn't Yvonne say that the voice was located? Or is that just a thing that was mentioned?
the voice is supposed to be here. The voice of Gleam is supposed to be here.
And we know that at this point?
Yvonne did iterate that when you guys came here initially, that Plague Lord Urok is stationed nearby, but not in the city. She's not allowed in because her obvious presence is sort of like an antithesis to the overall feeling of the city. But when it comes to Gleam, the voice, this is the head temple, and this is where this is where the voice of Gleam is supposed to be.
Okay. I look around And like the sudden realization that Yvonne said the voice of Gleam should be here, but I'm not seeing much of anyone alive.
Who was the like the big boy we just fought? Wasn't he a voice?
Do we know that?
Speaking of which, it's right around now that your incantations for Identify finish. And you do have to touch the eye in order to do anything. You don't feel any adverse effects when you touch it to identify it. But as you identify it, you're thrown into a sort of whirlwind of emotions, and knowledge is thrown at you. The only thing that comes back to you is this is the Eye of Mumbaal. That is all that is told you. You would need the spell legend lore to learn more about it. And you know that its only effect that it has as a magic item is it can identify the ability to cast spells at will. So it can look at someone and it will identify if you're able to cast spells or not. That's the only thing that is told to you by your identify spell.
Okay. Okay, so Rep is going to call over Yvonne. Yvonne,
Yes.
I have information.
What
This
is it?
this is the Eye of Mumbaal.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if that has more implications for you. I don't know that much about Mumbaal.
It does. We should get the party together so that I can give you a bit of history about what I know.
Indeed. I'm gonna. So yeah, Rep is going to use just the simple cloak he's wearing to grasp it without touching it, and to add it to his bag, and then move over to where the rest of the party is.
Okay. Yvonne follows you guys into the temple and he says, "Wow, that monster did work. Unfortunate. Do any of you see the body of the Voice of Gleam? Because she should be very tall. I don't see her here. Have you looked in the other chambers?"
I respond to that, the body. Why are you assuming that she's dead?
Look, this is where she should have been.
But she's not here. But you immediately assume that she's dead.
I mean, did you see that creature?
Yeah. Are we dead?
No. But there's something to be said. That
There's also something to be said about assuming that a god has died.
there's not a god, they are just a cleric.
A voice has died.
Yes. Some voices are more formidable than
We literally
others.
just killed a voice.
We did. And that being said, the eye that your friend found is the Eye of Mumbaal, which is...
Again, clutching it only with the cloak, showing it to everybody.
This is a piece of an ancient artifact that there's rumors of. But imagine that all of the gods existed as people at one point. The lore and the rumors are from historians, quote unquote, who knows what the fuck they're doing. But that some gods existed before others. They died, ascended to godhood. Then the next generation came along and ascended after them. The first 6 were perfect. They were killed by something. That is what they say. The second set had 7 for some reason. And the 7th god murdered all of the other gods. And his name was Mumbaal. And he is now worshipped as the avatar of destruction, essentially. He's the lord of undead. He is the lord of death and war and everything terrible is the god Mumbaal.
As he's finishing saying this, I start to walk out the back, and I want to do an investigation check to see if I see anything outside.
Okay, go ahead. Are you looking for something specific?
I want to see if there's any evidence of like other bodies being drugged, or suspicious like doors that seem to have been ajar when they probably shouldn't have, given that everyone's probably trying to board up and
Sure.
shower.
Go ahead. I'll give it to you an advantage because you have your boy with you. You're looking around and nothing seems out of place or recently removed. There's loads of dust and rubble on everything. There's like a thin layer of dust on everything from the building crumbling. And none of it is disturbed, but you do see a set of footprints that are walking around the outside edge, almost surveying to see, or essentially the tracks look like they're there, looking for something, but they haven't touched anything. They've only gone around the outside edge, out like on the very edge of it.
Can I get a better look at the tracks to see? Like,
Go ahead and make a survival check for me. See if you can identify whose tracks they are. You are not sure. They appear to be humanoid. Not very heavy and not very tall. They're very dexterous.
I look to Callum and I say, Callum,
one thing you do notice with your investigation check is the dust here is white. Because the building was made of a white stone, and the stone naturally around here is not white.
I look to Callum. I say, how big are Yvonne's feet?
Right, I didn't really look at it, but let's go back inside. I'll make a quick comparison.
I walk inside and I go around the other direction.
Okay.
And just get about 10 feet away from Yvonne.
And the first thing you notice is that his boots are in fact covered in a white dust. Not fully, but you could tell that there's like a line around his leather boots that shows that he's been walking around in white dust. Yeah, yeah, it looks about the same size.
I walk up to Yvonne and I grab him by the arm.
Hello?
Do you want to explain why you were out back?
I told you. I was verifying they didn't have reinforcements. That's all.
By pacing around in circles?
No, I ran. I ran from the north edge around back to the south, around the other side, once I saw the giant was on the other side. Because if you look...
Still holding him...
No, he's going to point with his left arm. He's going to point to this northwestern edge. Hold on, let me move my other camera. He points over here. He points over there. He says, if you look, my tracks come around the eastern side to the western side. I stop right at that entrance. I can see the giant from where I was, so I ran around the other side. Considering that I saw both you and Evie from that side, I ran around the other side to try and flank the giant man.
So you walked all the way
I ran.
around.
I ran. I did not walk.
Would I have been able to tell from the stride whether it was a walking or a running pace?
If you want to make an insight check, that would be a better... Your survival is not good enough to determine running versus walking. He's absolutely 100% telling the truth.
Okay. I just kind of like...
If anyone else wants to make an insight check, you're more than welcome to as well. If you are unsure.
I'm gonna go ahead and kind of pretend like that fight's not happening, and head up into this corner and kind of peek into both of the side rooms and look for the voice.
Mm-hmm.
Can I do a roll for that?
You don't actually have to roll for it. As you're looking around the outside parts, you do see that there is like a sort of bed and like furniture setup for a absolute giant of a person.
Is the voice in there at all?
No,
or?
not at all. It was perfectly made. There's like a giant beam like smashed the bed in two, but it was made beforehand. It doesn't look disheveled, doesn't look like someone ran out, that kind of thing.
And then I kind of look back to them as they're over there bickering.
And
just completely ignoring whatever it is that they're talking about. I say, No, the voice isn't here. Would it be normal for them to not be here, or do we need to look for something else?
We might need to talk to the king. He would know where she went, sort of the authority. But as unfortunate as it sounds, I still have my mission to complete, and I have faith that the city can take care of this issue. It's up to you what you want to do with the Eye of Mumbaal. It's, in my opinion, a terrible artifact, and we should hand it over to someone who can take care of it. Because I don't know if it's cursed. It could be. We would have to get some more powerful magic to try and detect it. But I'm going to leave that up to Rap Rap and his authority on artifice to see what he wants to do with it. I would not keep it. That is my advice. We should not keep it. Anything that has to do with that god is bad. It's bad luck. It's bad juju. It's just bad spirits in general. You don't want to mess with things from that kind of person.
Oh, it's a shame that it's baseball-sized obsidian, and so it would basically weigh right around 2.5 pounds.
Yeah.
Just be an awesome projectile for yeeting. Do you know anyone locally that would have expertise in this artifact?
I don't believe so, but I do know somewhere we can go that someone might. As far as I know, the only real known temple for Mumbaal is in Siltheim, which I have to go there as well. They're supposedly lending us soldiers. So we can make that our next leg on this journey.
Should we be concerned about going to a temple of a god that we have just killed its voice, and also you have said everything about it is terrible?
I mean, I have to go to Siltheim. We don't have to go to the temple.
This was an act of self-defense.
Is there any knowledge about what happens to a voice when it dies? Is there like a different voice that pops up somewhere else, or how serious is what
that is religion to religion, god to god. Some gods have multiple voices, some of them don't. For example, or at least Evie knows that Plague Lord Uruk only has one. And he generally tends to channel his vices into specific characters for a long time to make them exceptional in whatever aspect he chooses. And unfortunately, there's only one voice for Plague Lord Uruk, but you do not know for Mumbaal and for Gleam, there's only one as well. The Wild Pantheon tends to go in one direction, and that's just having one voice per thing, just total.
Would the king maybe know somebody locally that might have insight into this?
If we could find... He pulls out his little black notebook.
What's in there?
It is my list of contacts so that we can possibly find someone to... Essentially, the people I have met through my life that I can talk to and find out more information from. So that's it. It's it. If you want to look, you're more than welcome. And he closes it and he like pushes it toward Evie.
I'll just push it back. So it's fine.
I told you I have nothing to hide. If you want to look through my black book, you're more than welcome. And he opens it again and flips a few pages. He looks down and he says, well, if we can go, if we go to my homeland, we have to go to very far north. But if we go to, where is it? We'd have to go to my Ban. And there's a temple there of a knowledge, let's just say a god who has one of his domains in knowledge. They call themselves diviners. They might be able to tell us more information without us having to interact with the worshippers of the dead god.
Okay. So real quick, Rep would like to instruct Defender to just make a loop real quick, see if there's any survivors or anybody that needs help.
Go ahead and make an investigation check with the Defender,
Sure.
then, please. Or an intelligence check if he doesn't have it.
Just okay, yeah. There's no active. Oh, that's initiative. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha.
He doesn't find anything.
Okay. All right. I believe the safest course of action would be to hold on to the Eye of Mumbaal until we can find somebody that can tell us more about it. If we leave it in the wrong hands, it becomes another dangerous artifact that may again be abused.
Well, then you hold on to it, because I have faith that your hands are not dangerous.
Okay.
As long as everyone agrees. We are all party. I believe we should vote on it. If anyone else wants to carry it, I am taking myself out. I do not want to do it. If anyone
How big
has,
is this thing?
it's about the size of a baseball.
So Rep is going to take a cloth out of his bag, wrap the eyeball in the cloth, and put it back in his bag.
I will say though, maybe we should go buy a conveyance for it, like a little bag, so that we know that what it is and it doesn't just fall out willy nilly, like Loreshik has on his. What's in there?
I take the bag and I push it around towards my back. I said, just something that is close to me.
Oh, nice. Good to know you like something.
I reach into my bag. I pull out one of those little tablets, one of my little cards, and I hand it to Yvonne. And I don't know if he speaks the language that's written on it, but
Hold
it's
on.
clearly written in my native language.
Yes, it's going to be wrapped. Not my pun. I take no responsibility for that pun, but I still like it.
He does actually speak Draconic.
So I hand it to him, and
He's well versed in languages. He's a bard after all.
I tell him, you can go whichever way you want, but I think I need to step away for a little bit, and I just walk out the back door. Well,
And he says to you in Draconic, he says, "Take your time. If you need me, I will be at the inn, and we'll see you later." And with that, I believe we're going to end the episode because we're right on time with ending it. I had I had fun. I hope you guys had fun. Lots of lore dropped, as it always is, as it's going to be for a long time, probably for the entire time. This is probably how it's going to go. Are there any announcements? No, I don't think so. We'll be playing tomorrow. We'll be playing Steel Horizons bright and early in the morning. 9 a.m. Pacific time is Steel Horizons episode 20, featuring Gareth from Siege Destruction, and everyone else in our chat already knows Dota. So most of those people. I hope everyone had a good time. And if you guys want to watch everything before this, I have an episode on YouTube. Let me pull up the YouTube. And then if you want to come talk to us, we also are in the Discord. If you want to support me, I have a Patreon. It's up to you, though. I hope everyone has a great day. Have a great week. Stay safe. Yeah, Gareth is making a guest appearance tomorrow in Steel Horizons, and he might be for a couple episodes because we're going to a dungeon. So we will talk to you guys next week, Tuesday, next time. Be there. Be square. Everyone have a great week. Bye.